Hey guys, how are we doing? So we're back with another webinar, and this just to be short and sweet one, but it's about following the clues. Okay, and there's always clues into performance and injury, and we really need to listen to the body because it tells us all we need to know. And so many times we're talking to, say, either you guys or guys inquiring about the plan, and they already know what's going on with their body. It's almost like sometimes we just try and almost hide it a little bit. Okay, so when we say follow the clues, it's like success and failure, both of them will leave clues. Okay. The issue is we need to pay attention to them. So when you're doing things well, pay attention to it. When things aren't going well, pay attention to them. Because when you do look into it and you give yourself a little bit of a forensic once over, you'll realize that there's some commonalities. Okay. But the good thing is, whether it's good or bad, it is when you understand what's going on, you can check in with yourself very quickly to make sure that you're on top of your issue. So a little bit of case in point, Charlie talks about on the Bowler's Mentor webinars, his feedback from when he was playing and bowling and things weren't quite going as he wanted them to. He would have a little checklist of things that he would check in with, and sometimes he'd have mid on or mid off would help him with that just to give him maybe a little clue word or something like that. Whereas just he could reset himself, say, right, actually, yeah, I wasn't quite doing what I should be doing. My processes weren't there, so I need to get back on them. And it's the same with injury. Injuries leave clues as well. So when we talk about injury, every time someone comes on the plan, you do the movement screen. And the movement screen is like we talk about, it's our MOT, it's our service, it's our understanding of where your body is. But we don't need to do the full screen all the time. We don't. Every month, we want to do all of it. And then when we're maybe sort of 4 to 6 months in, we might do it every couple months. But the key thing is you might have one or 2 points that we need to look at again. So say, you take your car in for an MOT or a service and you get told that your back left tire is the tread's gone and you've got a chip on the window screen. You wouldn't take it back a month later and they do the whole thing again. They'd say, right, if you sort the tire out, if you sort the windscreen out. And that's like the body. So it might be a case in point that you've got really tight hip internal rotation on the right side. You've got poor access to hip extension on the left side, so to speak, or it could be the right, whatever it is. But the rest of the test you're fine with. So it could be a case where every week, and this is what I used to do when I was at Worcester with the guys, say it was every Monday morning, we'd have 3 or 4 tests that they would just do. So we would check in. But once we got into that habit of that, if someone was fine with three of them all the time, we'd say jump into two. Because at the end of the day, we don't want to take up loads and loads of time. We just want someone very quick, which will give us very instant feedback. Some guys, it was doing the grip test because that tells us very quickly where you are in an overall capacity. So say you got 45 normal score in the grip test and you were suddenly at 35, that would tell us you're probably tired and fatigued here. So we need to pull back until we get you up towards 45 again. But it's about being your own case study. Pay attention to what happens to you when you're feeling good and when you're bowling well. What are the commonalities? What are the key things? It's a little bit like if someone's trying to lose weight and they do a low carb or just do low calorie or whatever it might be, and they lose a stone and a half, and then they've almost forgot how they did it because they didn't document it. They didn't say, what the foods I had with this, the exercise I did was this. And it's the same with the body. If you're doing, say, your soft tissue every night, you might be doing a movement flow first thing in the morning, or getting into the couch sessions, and you're feeling great, that is almost a period where we need to be very careful. It's like someone coming back from injury. That the bit that worries me is when you're feeling good again, because the things that we're doing to help you feel good can suddenly get thrown out the window. And that's when we can start to spiral back. So understand your own body and when things are going well and things aren't. Okay. And just like I say, spot the clues. What keeps happening? What is the thing that happens? It could be your bowling. What's happening between the net when you're bowling really well to the game when things aren't quite going as well? What is happening? Are you rushing? threw you over? You know, are you charging back then charging? Are you running in quicker than you would normally? Are you taking more steps? Is your stride pattern different? You know, all these little things will tell you what's going on. Because we have quite a lot, a few people say, you know, I'm bowling great in the nets and I'm getting to the game and I'm forcing it down there, whatever it might be. So that's the clues that we need to be looking into. You know, what is going on? Did you do your prep? You know, all these processes that we want to be getting in place. Have you done your mediball work? Have you done your activation? Or these sorts of things. What are you thinking as you're running it? In the nets, is your mind clear? But in the game, is it full of technical work? Is it full of too much stuff? This is why we have to spot the clues because they're always there. And you'll come off. You know what we don't want to have it is you know the feeling of oh something clicked there. That was great. Something clicked, but then not look into why it clicked. You know, was that a ball you actually relaxed and everything did click rather than when we're forcing it and the whole body's tightened up and tensed. We really need to look into this. You know, because like I said, when we know the reasons, we can keep doing them or look to how we correct them. The worst thing we can do is do the head in the sand routine where we're just like, oh, I don't know what's going on, and not being honest with yourself. That's huge. If we're not honest with yourself about what's going on, either in the fitness or in the game, then we're never going to get there. You know, again, we get into the season a lot, and some players stop doing their sessions, stop doing the soft tissue, they stop doing the maintenance sessions, and they might be playing 3 or 4 times a week and not training. And then they start to say, oh, things aren't really clicking. You know, bowling's not feeling right. I'm feeling tired. What? Say, well, what? Are you sticking to playing, doing sessions? Well, no. Okay, that's a big clue. Are you doing your soft tissue at night? No. Have you watched the webinar on nutrition for game day? No. You know, clues are everywhere. We've just got to be really honest and look for them. Okay. So, you know, for you now, have a little think. What are your biggest issues that keep popping up? What's the 1 or 2 things that every time you're playing or training, you're like, oh, it's just nagging away at you. You know, we really need to think of these things. What are they? And everyone's got them. So, you know, I'll ask you at the end of the presentation, well, you know, what was yours? What was your issues? What are the things that when you're playing, it's not quite getting right, but then when you're training or you're in the nets, they're fine because everyone's got them physically as well. You know, with your training, gym wise and conditioning wise. What are the things which keep popping up? What on your body is keep nagging at you? You know, and we need to get out of the what drill can I have to do this? What drill will sort this out? You know, like there's always one magic drill, or they're right. I'm just going to do more. Okay. You know, my pelvis is all over the shop. My hips aren't great. My chain's not working, but I'm just going to go and start running because I felt tired towards the end of the spell. Well, of course, you felt tired. Your chain's not working, so you're forcing the ball down there. Your energy expenditure per ball is far more than it should be. Running's not going to solve that, you know. But we almost go back, but where we want to attack it with a scalpel, not an A bomb. You know, we don't want to drop a bomb on it to try and get everything just so we get that one thing. It's like, no, what is the issue? What is the issue? What are the clues telling us that's going on here rather than guessing? Rather than say, I'm not bowling as quick as I could, so I need to do weighted ball work. Well, not really. Do you know where your arm speed is? You know, is it your shoulder? Is it the trunk? Is it the chain? What is it? That's why we need to be forensic with what we do and really attack the clues. Okay. So remember, the main question all the time is why? What's going on and why? Answer that, you know, ask us that as well, because that's what we're here to do to help. But don't stick your head in the sand. Think, why is this happening? Why does it keep happening? Am I doing everything I need to get on top of it? Do I know what the issue is? Or am I still in that realm of guesswork, work harder work, you know, just do more strength work, bowl more, those sorts of things? No, let's be really smart. Let's look at the clues and get there. Okay. So, any questions? Hit me with it. I want to hear what your things are as well.